From Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in Fort Worth, Texas, this is the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
Booyah.
Booyah.
That it is indeed.
Nothing like being escorted into a show by Bulldog, you know. We're going to get him on the show one day.
He said he's down for it.
And have him do a little picking with us.
The chicken picking, as he
Yes,
calls
sir.
it, from the kennel.
Welcome into the Grandpa and Pappy Show, everyone. It's the only podcast in the podcast world that gives you a chance to speak what's on your mind, and your voice is always heard right here on our show.
We're listening.
Pappy, we have had so many things going on. The mess in Afghanistan is just, it's getting worse and worse. As they try to get Americans out of there.
I'm worried about our boys over there.
Yeah, I am too, and also I'm concerned because we left all of that ammunition, weapons, helicopters, and planes over there that now the Taliban has. And my biggest fear is Russia and China are going to come in and steal our technology.
It's probably already in their hands.
Well, probably so, but that's what scares me a lot. And we came up with the question, or actually, our good friend George Schultz did.
Georgia boy.
He asked the question: has the president violated his oath of office? So we ask you, and as usual, you guys have come up with some great stuff.
That's right.
And stuff that'll make you think a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this show.
That's a fact.
We love it. Let's get right to it.
Okay.
Let's see. Pardon me. Jennifer Hayes said, "You think? The oath clearly states he must protect and defend our country from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yeah.
All he has done is violate every one of them in letting all those people come into our country. We don't know them at all, so the majority could be sworn enemies of our country. So yes, he definitely violated the oath of office."
And that's been proven. A lot of people across that, just in the southern border. I mean, hell, Mexico don't even want them, so they just kind of...
Here's the thing about it. The people coming in, they're thinking they're from Venezuela and Mexico
Dominican
and
Republic,
South America, you know, but they have proof that people from 36 different countries have come through that border. What you got, Special K?
I have a question and thought. Can this be seen as an act of treason on the part of our president?
Well, I feel like it can.
In my estimation, I'm with Pappy. I think it can.
I think it's part of his agenda. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
He's probably got a prayer mat as we speak. Doing that hummy-lummy stuff. Bob Baker told us that every politician in Washington, D.C. has indeed violated their oath of office. Don't expect anyone to do anything about it. Josh Brooks says, "My thoughts? Well, we are talking about the current administration. If so, then my counter question is, does he even know he violated his oath of office?"
Here you go, Josh.
Attaboy, Josh.
There's a question for you,
It's a
buddy.
great question.
He probably don't even know he's president yet.
Well, that's true, and the more I listen to this guy, and the more I see him taking action here or not taking action there, it just makes me have to shake my head. It really does.
Very deep roots in this situation we got going on.
Parker Bailey said he has definitely violated his oath of office. He can't even get the border situation handled, and there's no telling who's all coming across the border. There are so many people from different countries coming in that we have no clue as to their intentions against our nation.
Yep.
What does Joe do? He retreats to his basement for ice cream, pick his nose, and go to bed.
And you know,
And and has a secret meeting with his son.
There you go.
And you know, our vice president is like going to Vietnam and the Philippines in the wake of all of this.
Yeah.
Why is she not here?
That's true, and she's going to wind that up by landing in California to speak
Support-
for Gavin Newsom
That's right.
in the recall election. Give me a freaking
Regular
break.
damn John Perry, isn't she?
I'm telling you, God Almighty.
Oh, Lord help us all. Parker Bailey said he has definitely violated his oath of office.
No, we just did that.
Oh,
one.
did we?
Yes, we
Well,
did.
by God, he said it again.
Well,
Brent Hardy told us, yes, he has every damn day. His wife, Lindsay, said, yes, I think he has as well. John Bossy says, what deal was made with the Chinese to allow them to acquire lithium in Afghanistan? My guess is the Bidens are in the middle of it. Stephanie Conti said he has violated it for the past 7 months.
yeah.
He has violated it.
A lot
for
of
7
people have
months.
thought that. Absolutely. Jerry Williamson, for instance, said, yes, he has. Just start with the border. If that's not enough,
No.
then add the rest of the mess he's causing in Afghanistan. And the answer is a resounding yes.
Yeah.
Tommy Woosley McGowan said, absolutely.
You know, and I'm still trying to wrap my head about how a lot of this crap that he's doing is being allowed.
See, that's me. I'm right there with you.
You know,
I don't understand how he's being allowed to do it.
you know, maybe we didn't get it, or maybe our check's in the mail, or check of understanding. Who the hell knows? James Henderson said on Instagram, okay, let's see. He's caused massive problem at our southern border by letting thousands come in.
Yep.
If he's so worried about COVID coming back, why did he let those people come in? And
Good
a
question.
large percentage of them are infected with the virus and not vaccinated. You worried, Joe? I think not. Now look at the mess he's created in Afghanistan. We're a laughing stock throughout the world, and there's going to be a massive bloodbath there after August 31st. Shall I go on? The man is a total disaster.
And he's going to ask the Taliban to be nice and let us extend past the August 31st deadline,
Well, hey.
which the Taliban kindly said, up your ass with mobile gas and happy motoring.
That's right.
You know, so
They'll hang him in town square
my-
if he shows up over there.
my God, I mean, here we go. After August 31st, the Americans that have not been able to get out, I fear. I really fear for their lives severely.
Lord, yeah.
I really do.
On the other hand, you heard about the most recent disaster out at Meekum, didn't you?
No.
A woman backed into an airplane propeller,
Bam.
and it disaster.
Crickets.
I hear no crickets. I thought it was cute.
Okay. Jim Krause said absolutely he has. It started right after the pretender took the oath of office
Yeah.
and hasn't stopped yet. Johnny Northcutt said, I would have to say yes in more ways than just Afghanistan. And Tim Randall and Randall Cavanis both said absolutely.
And I agree wholeheartedly. Julie Fuller McWilliams said, without a question, on multiple fronts. And her buddy Big Jerry Blum asked, does a bear poop in the woods?
And that was his actual words. I didn't have to clean it up.
Really?
It was. I guess the tequila hadn't kicked in. What do you think?
Yeah. He hadn't hit the field office yet.
Yeah,
sort of.
no. And finally, in this segment, John Marcus Green told us that Joe Biden may be the biggest mistake this country has made in its history.
Yeah.
This man has personally hurt this country so bad with his misguided words or destroying its sovereignty with a stroke of his many pens.
Yeah.
Has he violated his oath? You're damn right he has. And we Americans had better start getting a little smarter, or we're going to lose this great country of ours.
It's already in the works. Yeah.
You know,
That's what they're trying to do.
and here again, folks, Pappy and I, we're not telling you to start a revolution. We're not giving cheerleader moments here. Go shoot someone. go shoot. So, however that goes. But I'm telling you, it's getting to that point. Americans are getting fed up with what's going on. And I'm not talking just conservative and Republicans. There's some Democrats that have come out and spoken against Biden and his actions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that wall is breaking that the Democrats have.
Even the millennials are getting their slingshots out.
Oh, yeah.
By God.
Absolutely.
Nerf guns and all kind of stuff.
Well, we appreciate all of your comments on that one, on if he did violate the oath of office. And we're going to come back and we'll talk about, should the 25th Amendment, Pappy, be used? And we had several comments on that, and I went back and I printed the actual 25th Amendment.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, right here it is.
By God, I see a lot of highlight on there, too.
Yes, and we'll go over that and more. But first, we're going to take a break here on the Grandpa and Pappy Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.
And here is the kitchen.
When searching for a luxury home, you can't always be there in person. But a RE/MAX agent can help you every step of the way.
Oh my gosh.
And
The right agent every time.
Yeah.
But wait.
The right agent. Yes,
Buy
that
one
is
house,
correct.
we'll let you buy it.
If you're just joining us, our first half of the program, our segment one, had to do with a question asked by George Shultz as the president violated the oath of office.
That's right.
And as usual, you guys had some great comments, which led to question number two that was asked. Should the 25th Amendment be invoked by Congress?
Yeah. I feel like it should.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to read you a little bit here.
Okay.
Not much, but a little bit. For I went back and I printed the 25th Amendment as it says in Section 1, in the case of removal of the president from office or his death or resignation, the vice president shall become the president. Whenever there is a vacancy in office of the vice president, the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take the office upon confirmation by a majority vote of both houses. Now, let's get into the big thing. Whenever the vice president and a majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other bodies as Congress may by law provide, transmit to the President pro tem of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, then the President or Vice President shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office as acting President. But if this happens, the President, Biden, has an opportunity to deliver a letter to the Senate, the President pro tem of the Senate and Speaker of the House, his written declaration that no inabilities exist, and he shall resume the powers and duties of his office unless, and this is a big unless
he is a crook.
I am not a crook. Unless the Vice President and majority of either the principal officers of the executive department of such body as Congress transmit within 4 days to the President pro tem of the Speaker of the House and the Senate their written declaration that the President's unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. So there you go.
Yeah.
They can invoke it, and Congress can vote on it, but the President has a right to come back and say, no, I'm perfectly capable of handling this if I can find my way to the pro tem. And then he can resume as president until the vice president and the other ones come back and say that he can't.
Well, That just means more tax dollars being spent.
I would think so. Yeah.
Tons more being spent.
So, what did you guys say? Is it time? Should Congress invoke the 25th Amendment? Let's see what you guys had to say.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Yeah. Brandy Carr said, and Kamala Harris would be just as useless. She's been MIA too. Jerry Williamson said, and have the giggler as president. Wow. Give me time to digest that. Did you see her yesterday when she landed in Singapore?
No.
You know, she comes down the ramp and the reporters are wanting to ask her about Afghanistan and other things. She goes, oh, just hold on. Just hold. I like to puke. Almost puked.
Anytime her smirky little mug comes on the news, I'll look the other way.
God almighty.
Jenna Edwards told us, let me see if I understand it correctly. As I understand it, the 25th Amendment is there to use to remove a president who is either not mentally fit to carry on the duties of president or if his decisions endanger the country in any way. If this is correct, then yes, Biden needs the 25th Amendment used on his butt.
Which is basically what the amendment said that I just read you.
Yeah, but who? Yeah. Who,
But you got to go through the protocol.
what politician lives by that anymore? You know.
Well, you got a good point there.
Yeah.
Cheryl Caswell Richards says yes, because Kamala will bury herself soon after.
Yeah.
Chris Schomburg said he's a threat to the United States security and he must be removed from office. Randy Seiler said, oh yeah, I really believe the 25th Amendment is logical here. But wait, don't put it away just yet. We'll have to use it on Kamala and Nancy next.
If it's not revamped after we use it the first time, yeah. Oh,
I don't know.
Jim Krause said the only problem with that is we'd have a giggler in chief as president, backed up by crazy Nancy Pelosi as president and vice. Tammy Quick Kroll says we don't need Kamala as president. That whole administration is useless.
Ain't it so?
Yep. Yep.
Ain't it so? Debbie Armstrong Lowe said we are screwed with him or without him. Mike Tanner said Kamala is not the answer. Bob Baker said no. Remove this guy and they'll be removing all of them.
Yep.
He hasn't set the world on fire yet. Ricky Thompson simply said, yet.
He's working on it.
He's trying.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and very blatantly so. Donna Briggs Moss said, so many people want Biden and Harris out, but the next in line is Pelosi. We're basically in a world of crap with any of the three. Dina Lucero said yes, and Joe Mosier said it'd be nice, but the problem is the Democrats have the House.
You got a point there.
Yeah.
Special K, you got anything to throw in there? I know we've been talking a lot here lately, so you have nothing to say about it.
I just think it's a mess. Period.
It is a mess. It is a mess.
I mean, there's no words.
Do I?
I'm just saying that all this mess, there's just no words to explain why this is happening and why he's making the steps he's making.
No, there's no.
And I would like to really know who's in charge of our country right now, because it's not him, Kamala, or Pelosi.
I can think of three good words. It's called New World Order. So,
Well, possibly.
I think that's his agenda.
Yeah, could be. Chris Schomburg told Donna Briggs Moss that the Democrats are not a political party. They're a huge organized criminal cartel, to which Harold Dixon said, amen.
Yep.
Bobby Mason said, that makes a lot of sense to me, too.
That's what money and power get you.
It's like one of those ding moments, that we all have from time to time.
I mean, hell, what's his name? Marlon Brando and The Godfather didn't kill as many people as you-know-who when she was trying to hit the Oval Office after they got rid of her cigar-smoking husband.
I have nothing to say about that. Not at all.
Sounds like a perfect good way to waste a cigar to me.
Yeah, no kidding.
John Underwood said, you really think the cackling vice pretender would be any better?
Vice pretender?
Oh, yes. I'm the vice pretender.
Wee,
Mary Hannah Rose says it's coming. It was her plan all along, which I agree with. Christina Maria Cornstubble said absolutely. Not because the next in line is no better. By God.
John, that's greatness. That's 2 words we've picked up in the last 2 days.
Vice pretender.
Bidenistas and the vice pretender. Man, that's greatness. That's just greatness. Well, let's see here. James Graham told us if we did, we would have to have 2 really quick impeachments or 2 more 25th Amendments to be used on Harris and Pelosi. Both Barton Taylor and Michelle Munsell both said yes to the 25th Amendment.
And as far as the 2 impeachments, they can do that quick. Look what happened to the Trumpster.
What'd you got there?
So my question is, if if the 25th Amendment comes about, it doesn't mean that the House is going to stay the House the way it is today, because we still vote. And the way it's going, it's looking like it's going to change. But my question is, between now and the midterms, can martial law be called? Is it the president that does that?
Yes, the president does have that authority, but
It can be called without a vote, right?
I believe
so,
it
yeah.
can, but
Under certain
I mean, if
circumstances,
if he's getting ready to be booted out of office via 25th Amendment, he can immediately call martial law, and he's the rule. He's it.
Well, I don't think they'd allow that to happen. Well, I say they don't. Look what they're allowing to happen now. But I mean, that's a good question.
That is a good
It
question.
is. You scare me sometimes.
Really, no kidding. Well, James Graham told us if we did, we just read that one. So
We did.
Yeah, okay.
John Bossy said 2 years and 1 day. That allows Kamala Harris to run twice. They will create a panic to cause mail-out ballots and create the same situation we saw in 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more dead people out there that hadn't voted yet.
Yep.
We are a one-party nation, and we are controlled by liberal, socialist Democrats.
Did you see on the news where this one county in Arizona took a bunch of people off of their voting rolls that totaled more than lived in the county?
Yeah.
Did you see? I'm just going, and they're saying nothing happened? I mean, come on. Jumping G's.
I'll tell you what, it was a slick plan. I will give the Biden administration kudos for that.
Or
It
the
was
Democrats,
a very
yeah.
slick plan.
Well thought out.
Yep.
Well,
Cost a lot of money, too.
it did. It did. And you got all the Hollywood types and stuff contributing to that every day. So,
Yep.
anyway, Harold Dixon told us, well, my thoughts, Kamala, Pelosi, I don't guess I have a thought except we're in one hell of a mess. Jerry Blum says, hell, second and third in line are just as bad, maybe worse.
Yep.
And Tammy Parker said, well, that was the plan.
Yeah.
Ain't it so?
Yeah. Took them a while to devise that. I still can't wrap my head around how they pulled that off.
Oh,
Crazy.
God almighty.
And to close out this second segment of this week's show on the Grandpa and Peppy Show, Douglas Reesno said, I believe the 25th Amendment could be justified in this case, but we need to be careful what may happen. If Biden is removed and Kamala is installed as president with Pelosi taking over vice president's seat, they will ram every program down our throats in record time. To hell with what's going on in the country. A Democrat with a country's checkbook scares the living hell out of me.
Ain't it so?
Me too. Besides, it'll be Pelosi telling Kamala what to do, and that also scares me.
I believe that too.
Yeah,
I believe that too.
that'll make about as much sense as trying to understand the lyrics in a Tom Petty and Bob Dylan concert.
I don't know.
That was a waste of money when I was in New Zealand.
Boy, isn't that the truth. Well, thank you very much for the comments on that.
You guys rock.
It's very interesting about the 25th Amendment. And now that we've read it to you in part, you will have a better understanding
Yeah,
of what it is. We got some interesting comments this week,
yeah.
and we'd like to share that with you. The Grandpa and Pappy Show would like to welcome two new subscribers,
I guess.
James Whitley and Michael Mason. James noted on YouTube that his cousin had happened upon our site and told me I would like it since I'm a conservative kind of guy. I like it so far.
Well, by God, we like you being here too.
Absolutely, James.
Thanks for hopping on board with us, brother. Michael Mason said after watching your show and them wanting to go door to door to give vaccines, I started listening closer to the news and bam, there it was. Keep us all updated with your topics and talk since the age of honest media is quickly becoming history. Very profound, Michael.
I couldn't have said that better myself.
That's a fact.
Well, Patsy Middleton said, I haven't written you guys in a while, but I really enjoyed your show on whether we watched the Olympics. Honestly, I did not. But I enjoyed your listeners' comments if they did or didn't, and why. They made a lot of sense to me. Yeah. I'm glad there were no protests by our athletes.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
To close out this week's show, with your comments on the Grandpa and Pappy Show, Kyle Ashton sent a quick note on YouTube saying we need to get Trump on our show.
I sent an invitation.
I'd love that.
I did send an invitation. Sure did.
I hear he's doing a lot of podcasts just so he can get his message out. That'd be a hoot. Keep up the good work, guys. Well, thank you, Kyle. We'd love to have him on the show, man.
Well, I'd like to have Trump on our show.
That would be an unedited show, I guarantee.
It would. It would have to be. I would shut up and let him talk.
Let him loose.
Absolutely. Hey, we thank you very much for joining us today. If you have an idea, suggestion, or you want to make a comment on our questions of the day, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to our email site, which is grandpaandpappy@gmail.com.
My God. Or you can simply hit us up on the show website page, which can be found at www.grandpaandpappy.com. It's grandpa and the letter npappy.com, where you'll find that big old red button. Push it. Push it and subscribe.
Push it like James and Michael did.
That's right. Push it like Biden's pushing against our common sense.
And it
won't cost you a red penny or nothing to subscribe.
It won't cost a dime.
And we'll love having you on board. You can also get to Twitter and Instagram through that page, or
sure can.
You can push that blue F button. I'll save my remark.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Push that blue F button and go straight to our Facebook group page.
Yeah, where you'll see all these opinions, the majority of them, before they even hit the airwaves.
That's right.
It's been a lot of fun today, everybody.
Yeah,
we have some interesting shows coming up right quickly, Pappy. We have a college student that's going to be joining us to give us the young person's opinion on what is going on in our world and in our country and in politics and in what's going on in schools.
Now we're also going to have a music show coming up here pretty soon, too. Our buddy Brian Emerton, our little hillbilly picker up in Tennessee. And,
yes, sir.
Tom String Band, who's over in Germany, better known as those damned old hillbillies.
Yes, sir.
In fact, Brian has been kind enough to share his music with us. He plays our outro music at the end of every show.
Yes, he does.
So, a dear friend of the show, and can't wait to talk to him.
And if you'd like to make a contribution to the Burgers for Babies in the memory of Jackie Cohen that we just did a show on not too long ago, please do so. Here's how you do it. Make it in the name of Grandpa and Pappy so that they can give us credit and we can give you credit.
Yeah, and a little memo thing.
That's it, right down at the bottom. You can make a payment by Venmo, or you can send a check and make it payable right there on your screen, and who to make it payable to. We would certainly appreciate it, and we're hoping to make this year's Burgers for Babies bigger than any of the previous 10 years.
And should you not be able to afford a donation, come on out and join us September 16th down in Cowtown, by God.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Be supportive. It's such a great cause.
Yep.
It really is. And Jackie, God rest her soul, she'd probably tell you don't do it for mine or do it for the kids, because that's the way she was.
Absolutely. Until we see you again, reach out, hug your kids, and let them know you love them.
Let them know they're well loved right here, amigo, at the Grandpa and Pappy Show too, by God.
Absolutely. Until we see you guys again, take care of one another.
Please do.
Be nice to one another. God bless you. God bless America. Until we see you again, take care.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.